Growing up in Jacksonville, Florida, during the 80s, at the height of the crack cocaine era, a significant part of my life, it was surrounded by drugs, abuse, and a lot of gun violence. My mother, she became addicted to crack after being introduced to it by a friend. I recall one time in the apartment where we lived, it was beautifully furnished. One Christmas season, there was a Christmas tree full of gifts. After returning from school one afternoon, the furniture, the Christmas tree, and everything under it, it was gone. That day, my mother became so high on crack that she sold everything. Fast forward, there was a season in which my siblings and I, we were living with our maternal grandmother. In the same house at one point, it was about 15 of us. And when I say it was a violent place at times, it was violent. I recall stabbings and shootings, just to name a few. I was on the verge of dropping out of high school when I scored straight Fs 3 consecutive semesters in the 9th grade. And you know, to make matters worse, I had a very severe speech impediment, barely able to get a word out. Fear, it eventually gripped me. I saw myself becoming another statistic if there was not a drastic change in my environment. And so I, a 12-year-old kid, I called my dad, who was living in Miami, Florida, and asked him if I could move there with him. A few weeks later, I did just that. He and my paternal grandmother, they both helped me get back on track. I got my grades up, and I was able to graduate from high school successfully and, yes, on time. Now, some of you may be asking the question, Corey, what was the difference between Jacksonville and Miami that afforded you this transformation? Well, I believe it was the environment of a loving father and grandmother who, yet with a stern hand of discipline, said to me, Corey, failure and mediocrity are not an option in this house. Your stuttering and the horrible experiences from the past, it will only prevent you from being great if you allow it. You know, I realized it was their affirming words and the conditions of our home that created an environment for me to thrive and for me to reach my full potential. And so maybe the next time you find yourself being stifled or hindered by an environment and the opportunity to shift presents itself, take advantage of it. For in doing so, you may discover, just like me, a place and the people that will help you unlock a better version of yourself, allowing you to bring forth your most significant contribution to the world and those around you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good job. There you go. Keep hold of that. Great, thank you. Number 7, Corey. All right.